What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today we're talking about something that's about to change the entire K-pop landscape. You know that iconic Black Swan performance by Jimin? The one with over 500 million views that made even professional dancers stop and take notice? Yeah, that one. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you think that was Jimin's peak performance, you need to sit down, because what's coming with BTS's Arirang album is about to completely blow your mind. And I've got receipts to back this up. Let's get into it. Before we dive deep, do me a favor. Think about the first time you watched Jimin's Black Swan solo. That moment when he moved across that dark stage like he was possessed by something otherworldly. The way his body seemed to break and reassemble with every beat. That haunting, devastating performance that made you feel things you couldn't even put into words. Got that image in your mind? Good. Now multiply that emotional impact by 10. Add 6 years of artistic growth, military service, global solo success, and a reunion tour that sold out 82 shows in hours. That's what we're about to witness with Arirang. And I'm going to explain exactly why this is going to shatter every expectation you've ever have had. Let's establish what Black Swan actually was, because we need that foundation to understand where we're going. In January 2020, BTS dropped Black Swan, and the performance video featuring Jimin's contemporary dance solo became an instant cultural reset. This wasn't your typical K-pop choreography. This was high art. We're talking about a performance that bridged the gap between commercial pop music and legitimate contemporary dance in ways that had never been done before in the K-pop industry. Jimin didn't just execute moves. He embodied an entire existential crisis through movement. The song dealt with every artist's deepest fear, losing your passion for the thing that defines you. Imagine waking up one day and the music that used to make your heart race just sounds like noise. That terror, that soul-deep dread, Jimin channeled all of it through his body. And here's the thing, he could do this because of his background. This man studied contemporary dance at Busan High School of Arts, where he was a top student in the modern dance department. We're not talking about someone who learned to dance to become an idol. Jimin was trained in Martha Graham technique, in the philosophy that your body is an instrument for emotional truth. He learned the language of contraction and release, of using physical movement to express things that words can't touch. So when Black Swan came along, all those years of training finally had the perfect canvas. The impact was insane. Professional choreographers who'd never given K-pop a second look started analyzing his technique. Dance studios around the world added Black Swan to their contemporary class curriculum. The performance video racked up 500 million views. It showed up in discussions about the best dance performances of the entire decade, not just in K-pop, but in dance, period. It proved that idol dancers could be taken seriously as artists, and Jimin was the one who proved it. For a lot of people, that felt like the pinnacle. How do you top a performance that literally changed the conversation about what K-pop could be? The answer is, you don't try to top it. You evolve past it entirely. Here's what people miss when they talk about Black Swan being Jimin's peak. They're treating it like an endpoint when it was actually a launchpad. Let me walk you through everything that's happened since that performance dropped, because every single thing has been building towards something exponentially more powerful. First, Jimin's solo career absolutely exploded. His song, who has over 2.25 billion plays on Spotify. Let me say that again. 2.25 billion. And get this, more than 450 million of those streams are from the United States alone. This isn't K-pop niche success. This is mainstream global artist numbers. He became the first solo K-pop artist to hit 6.5 billion total streams on Spotify. He earned double platinum certification in Canada. These aren't just impressive stats, they prove that Jimin has transcended being a member of BTS and become a singular force with his own gravitational pull. Then there's the brand power. He became a Dior ambassador and walked Paris Fashion Week in October 2025, showing up in leather pants and an open formal jacket with no shirt, absolutely owning the runway. In February 2026, he landed the cover of Vogue Korea with 7 different versions. 7! And they all sold out before they even hit the shelves. The photo shoot was 30 pages of editorial content shot by Mok Young-wook, described as dreamy and fairy tale-like. But if you look at those images, what you see isn't just a pretty face. You see an artist who stepped fully into his power, who knows exactly what he brings to the table. And then there's the military service. Jimin completed his mandatory service in June 2025 alongside Jungkook. For those who don't know, military service fundamentally changes every Korean man who goes through it. It's a pause button on your entire life. For an artist like Jimin who lives and breathes performance, being away from the stage for that long isn't just difficult, it's transformative. You have time to miss it, to remember why you fell in love with it in the first place, to hunger for it in ways you couldn't when you were in the thick of constant schedules and comebacks. He came back from that experience different, more mature, more grounded, and absolutely starving to perform at the highest level possible. That's the Jimin we're about to see in the Arirang era. Not the young performer trying to prove himself like in Black Swan, but an established artist with nothing left to prove and everything to celebrate. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually coming, because the scale of this is unprecedented. BTS announced their comeback album Arirang, dropping March 20th, 2026. The tour kicks off April 9th in Goyang, and we're talking about 82 shows across 34 cities in 23 countries. This is the biggest tour BTS has ever attempted. And here's the insane part. All 41 North American and European dates sold out within hours of tickets going on sale. We're talking about Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, massive venues that hold tens of thousands of people, completely filled before most fans could even get through the queue. For shows at Allegiant alone, May 23rd, 24th, 27th, and 28th. That level of demand doesn't happen by accident. It happens because there's a perfect storm of anticipation, and Army worldwide has been waiting for this moment through years of military service, through the pandemic, through everything. When Jimin announced in November 2025 that the album was complete, he described this comeback as the year we've longed for. That wasn't just an update. That was a promise. And if you know anything about BTS and how they operate, they don't come back to repeat what they've already done. They come back to completely obliterate expectations. The album title itself carries massive cultural weight. Arirang is one of Korea's most iconic folk songs, a piece of musical heritage that speaks to longing, separation, and reunion. It's about distance and the ache of wanting to return home. Think about how perfectly that fits BTS's current narrative. Members separated by military service, fans waiting through that separation, and now everyone coming back together. The thematic foundation alone suggests a level of artistic ambition that goes way beyond a typical pop comeback. And then there's the tour production. They're implementing a 360-degree stage setup. Do you understand what that means? In traditional concerts, there's a front stage and choreography is blocked for that primary viewing angle. Even in arena shows, there's usually a main direction with adjustments for different sections. But true 360-degree performance means every single angle matters. Every movement has to read from all directions. The dancer has to maintain full commitment, no matter where the audience sits. For most performers, that's a nightmare constraint. For Jimin, it's an opportunity to prove that his technique is so clean, his lines so precise, that it literally doesn't matter where you're sitting because the performance will be flawless from every single angle. Think about what that requires. Not just technical mastery, but complete spatial awareness and the ability to perform for an entire arena simultaneously. That's next-level difficulty, and I guarantee Jimin is going to eat it up. Now let's get into the specific reasons why Arirang is going to make Black Swan look like a warm-up. And I'm not trying to diminish Black Swan. That performance will always be historically significant as the moment that changed the conversation. But here's the reality. Number 1, emotional depth. Black Swan was about fear. The fear of losing your passion, of becoming empty inside while still going through the motions. That's powerful, and Jimin embodied it completely. But that was 2020 Jimin, a young artist grappling with existential questions. Arirang Jimin is coming from the other side. He's experienced actual separation from performing through military service. He's had to watch from the sidelines. He knows what it's like to miss it, to hunger for it, to remember why he fell in love with performing in the first place. He's mining from a much deeper well of lived experience now. The performance won't be contemporary dance as a cry for help. It'll be contemporary dance as triumphant declaration. That shift in emotional foundation changes everything. We're going from vulnerability born of fear to vulnerability born of strength. And that hits different. Number 2, technical evolution. Jimin never stops pushing himself. In the 6 years since Black Swan, he's performed countless times, refined his technique, strengthened his body, deepened his understanding of how to use movement as storytelling. His flexibility, his control, his ability to make difficult moves look effortless, all of that is leveled up. Whatever choreography he's working with for Arirang will be more technically demanding because he's capable of more. And he's going to execute it with the kind of precision that makes professional dancers pause the video to study how he did that. Number 3. Creative control. As BTS has matured, the members have taken increasingly active roles in shaping their artistic direction. Jimin isn't just executing someone else's vision anymore. Industry insiders have hinted that he had significant input into the choreographic direction for Arirang. That means what we're going to see is his vision, filtered through years of experience and artistic development. It's not, here's the choreography, learn it. It's, here's the story I want to tell, here's how my body can tell it. That level of artistic ownership produces performances that hit different. Number 4. The refinement factor. Black Swan was captured beautifully on video, but it was essentially a filmed piece. The Arirang tour means Jimin will perform whatever solo or spotlight moments he has over 80 times in front of hundreds of thousands of people. He'll refine it night after night, finding new layers, deepening the emotional resonance, perfecting timing and execution. By the time this tour hits its final shows, whatever he's doing will have been honed to an almost supernatural level of mastery. We're going to get performance videos from different tour stops, and fans are going to lose their minds comparing how the performance evolved. Number 5. The numbers game. Black Swan hit 500 million views over several years, which is impressive and shows its staying power. But the landscape has completely changed. BTS's global fanbase has exploded. Streaming culture has evolved. TikTok and short-form video have created new viral pathways. The pent-up demand from fans who waited through military service means anything from the Arirang era will have immediate, massive engagement. When that first performance video drops, it won't take years to hit 500 million. We're talking months, maybe weeks. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about one performance being better than another. This is about a cultural moment that's about to explode. BTS coming back after military service is already a massive story. K-pop groups rarely survive that kind of interruption. The fact that BTS not only survived but came back to sell out a world tour before even releasing the album, that's unprecedented. And Jimin is positioned at the absolute center of that moment. He ranked number 1 in the boy group member brand reputation rankings for January 2026 with an index of over 4.14 million. That's 35 consecutive months at the top. He's the only idol to achieve that kind of sustained dominance. His Vogue cover, his Dior ambassadorship, his streaming numbers, all of it points to someone who's transcended the K-pop ecosystem and become a global cultural figure. When he steps on that stage in Goyang on April 9th for the first show of the Arirang tour, it's not just BTS's main dancer performing choreography. It's one of the most influential performers in the world debuting what he's been building toward for 6 years. The eyes on that moment will be intense. Media coverage, fan anticipation, industry attention, it's all going to be focused on what BTS delivers, and specifically what Jimin delivers as their contemporary dance specialist and emotional anchor. The 360-degree stage means everyone in the arena gets the full experience. The production value will be insane. The choreography will be designed to showcase each member's individual strengths while maintaining BTS's legendary group synchronization. And in Jimin's solo moments, we're going to see him unleash everything he's been holding back. Here's something else that's going to elevate the Arirang era beyond anything we've seen before. The level of collaboration and creative partnership within BTS has reached new heights. We know that J-Hope, who's also an incredible dancer and choreographer, has been working closely with Jimin on movement concepts. These two have always pushed each other to be better, and now with the maturity and experience they've both gained, that collaborative energy is going to produce something extraordinary. But it's not just within BTS. There are rumors, and I want to be clear these are rumors but from reliable sources, that Jimin has been working with international choreographers who specialize in contemporary dance fusion. We're talking about people who've worked with major dance companies who understand how to blend classical contemporary technique with modern performance art. If these collaborations are real, and I think they are based on the breadcrumbs we've been getting, then we're looking at choreography that pulls from multiple dance traditions and creates something completely new. Think about what happens when you take Jimin's Korean contemporary dance training, add his years of K-pop performance experience, mix in collaboration with J-Hope, who brings his own street dance background, and then layer on input from world-class choreographers who can see possibilities that haven't been explored yet. That's not just good choreography. That's innovation. That's the kind of thing that gets studied in dance programs and influences the next generation of performers. And here's the beautiful thing about Jimin specifically. He has the technical skill to execute whatever vision gets created, but he also has the artistic sensitivity to make it meaningful. It's not just about doing difficult moves. It's about doing difficult moves that carry emotional weight and tell a story. That combination of technical excellence and emotional authenticity is rare, and it's exactly what's going to make the Arirang performances transcendent. So what can we actually expect? Obviously, specific choreography details haven't been released, and BTS is strategic about keeping things under wraps until the right moment. But based on everything we know about Jimin's artistic sensibilities and the thematic weight of Arirang, we can make some educated predictions. First, expect contemporary dance technique at the highest level. Jimin's training in Martha Graham's contraction and release, his understanding of how to use his entire body as an expressive instrument, all of that will be on full display. We're talking clean lines, controlled extensions, the kind of technique that makes movement look both effortless and impossible at the same time. Second, expect emotional storytelling that goes beyond what Black Swan achieved. The Arirang concept is about longing and reunion, about separation and coming back together. Jimin's going to tap into that on a personal level, the experience of being away from ARMY, away from performing, and now returning. That emotional authenticity will translate through movement in ways that hit you right in the chest. Third, expect innovation in how contemporary dance and K-pop performance intersect. Jimin has always been about pushing boundaries, about showing that these two worlds don't have to be separate. Arirang is his chance to fully merge them, to create something that honors both his contemporary dance roots and his identity as a K-pop performer. Fourth, expect moments that will become instant icons. Black Swan gave us that solo spotlight moment that everyone remembers. Arirang will give us multiple moments like that. Specific moves, specific sequences that get recreated by dancers worldwide, that show up in compilation videos, that become shorthand for artistic excellence in K-pop. And finally, expect record-breaking numbers. The views, the social media engagement, the coverage, all of it will surpass Black Swan because the foundation is so much bigger now. Jimin's individual star power combined with BTS's collective might, in a cultural moment that's been building for years, equals an explosion of attention that will make Black Swan's impressive numbers look quaint by comparison. Here's the thing that gets me most excited about all of this. What we're about to witness isn't just about topping a previous performance. It's about an artist coming into full maturity and showing us what that looks like. Jimin at 24, giving us Black Swan was incredible. Jimin at 30 giving us whatever Arirang has in store is going to be transcendent, because he's not the same person anymore. He's lived more. He's experienced separation and reunion. He's had solo success that proved his individual worth beyond being part of a group. He's represented major luxury brands on global stages. He served his country. He's had time to reflect on his artistry and what he wants to say through it. All of that life experience gets poured into performance, and the result is something that operates on a completely different level. Black Swan was a young artist confronting fear and uncertainty. Arirang is a mature artist declaring who he is and what he's capable of with absolute confidence. That shift is everything. The vulnerability is still there because Jimin's greatest strength has always been his willingness to be emotionally open through movement. But it's vulnerability from a position of strength now, not fear. Think about the journey. Contemporary dance student in Busan to BTS trainee, to main dancer in the biggest group in the world, to solo artist with billions of streams, to military service, to reunion and comeback. Every step of that journey added layers, added depth, added perspective. Arirang is where all of those layers come together into something we've never seen before. And it's not just Jimin who's evolved. ARMY has evolved too. The fan base that watches Arirang performances will be more sophisticated, more appreciative of artistic nuance, more ready to engage with complex emotional storytelling. The relationship between Jimin and ARMY has deepened through years of supporting each other, and that relationship will be present in every performance. He's not performing at the audience, he's performing with them, sharing something profound. There's also the ripple effect to consider. When Black Swan dropped, it opened doors for other K-pop artists to explore contemporary dance and artistic expression more seriously. Labels saw that there was an appetite for that kind of content. Other idols felt empowered to showcase their own artistic training. What will the ripple effect be when Arirang demonstrates that you can go even further, that the ceiling is higher than anyone thought? We're going to see a wave of artistic ambition across the entire industry, and it will all trace back to what Jimin does in 2026. Look, I know some people might think I'm overhyping this. They'll say, Black Swan is a legendary performance, nothing can top it. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. To those people I say, respectfully, you're not paying attention. The trajectory is clear. The foundation is solid. The moment is perfect. Everything is aligned for Jimin to deliver something that doesn't just top Black Swan but transcends it entirely. We're not looking at Black Swan 2.0. We're looking at something we don't even have language for yet. Because that's what happens when a generational talent hits their artistic prime with the resources, the platform, and the creative freedom to fully realize their vision. Arirang is where Jimin shows us not just what he can do, but who he's become. So keep your eyes open. Mark your calendars for March 20th when the album drops. Get ready for April 9th when that tour kicks off in Goyang. And prepare yourself for the moment when you realize that what you thought was impossible, topping Black Swan, just happened right in front of your eyes. Because it's coming, and it's going to be absolutely devastating in the best possible way. If this video got you hyped for Arirang, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be breaking down every performance, every dance practice video, everything that comes out of this era. Drop a comment, and tell me what you're most excited to see from Jimin and Arirang. Are you ready for this? Because I know I am. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Arirang era, let's go!